Welcome to the channel, guys. So, today question is 3027. Find the number of ways to place people to. This is the same question as the previous day, but here, why it is labeled hard because of the explanation they given, like a competitive programming, and the constraints are increased to from 50 to 1000. But still, previous code will work as usual. Here, the theory part, what they say is, as explained in the previous video, X, Y, and X, Y, Z, and why it is valid and why it is not. Here, same as it is, but here X, they place allies, and here Y, they place bonds. So they gave character name of these coordinates X and Y, and they labeled it by that. See, these colors are like this only. They will, they will give like a CP style and they label it as all. And now I will explain this above. Say, I will link the previous video and the previous video and this was also the both are same. So that's it. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are solving a really interesting problem. Find the number of ways to place people one. So the problem then is we are given some points which is on 2D plane. So each point has an x and y coordinate as you can see from here this example. Now we want to count how many valid states exist. So how to know if a point is valid or not? So there are two conditions. Let's say there are 2 points A and B, and A is on upper left side of B, and there are no points in the rectangle they make. Okay? For example, let's see here. So there is a point X and there is a point Y. So they are making a rectangle. So there are no points in between them. So it is a valid. Let's suppose there is a point y between x and z, so it is not a value. Even if a point is like on the order, it is a not value. And both here. So the catch is between point I and j, there shouldn't be any block point k that lies in the rectangle formed by the points x and y. So basically we are trying to count space where one point is on left. So one point is on left above and the right above. Sorry, right below. So without anyone running between in those pairs. So this sounds simple first, but the tricky part is checking that no point lies in between. So so this is the this is the synopsis summary of the problem. So let's talk about the approach to solve this problem. Mm, First notice first notice that the main challenge is checking whether the point is blocking a pair. If we directly let's see here. So if we directly check all possible ways, then search for blocker, it would take too much time. Something like walk, which is impossible for larger input. But can we do it? Let's check out the constraints. So the constraints is between 2 and 3. So I think we can do it. So let's say, so let's, okay. So in this project problem, we are asked to count the number of valid pairs, point 5, comma j, such that there is no point lies inside the rectangle. So sorting phase, sorting step. To make comparison easier, we sort the points XSML. If 2 points have same as, we sort Y by decimal. Right. This way we can pay psi comma j. We can know that xi is less than or equal to xj. And because descending y, we can go that clearly above top and bottom. For suppose here x should be like take it like 2 comma. So let's say that x equal to 2 comma 3 and y should be let's say 4 comma 1. So as you can see this, so because of x2 comma 3, it lies here. And because and y equal to 4 comma 1, it lies in the right below. So first, because of that, we have to sort like this. We have to sort it like ascending according to the x-axis and descending according to the y-axis. So the point I is to left and above point j, they can form opposite corners of the rectangle. To form a rectangle, you should sort it like this. So for checking validity, we have to use three formulas. And in the third formula, let's say x k. So we have to check whether that x of I and x of j uh, is both outside and x of k is inside. Like that. If these conditions, these two conditions satisfied, then we can tell that it's not a valid form. So let's go step by step through. So step one is sorting the form. Let's say um, sort by points dot begin, comma points dot end, and we need a comparator. So let me write the comparator class compare, and we know class we have to define it class public and bool operator. So we are getting a so vector of int and percentage, comma vector of int and percent. So if both x-axis are same, then we will return like x of 1 less than y. So it will sort it in descending based on the y-axis, or else we can return x of 0 greater than. I think I reversed it. Yes, sorry. Yes, like this. So based on this, the x coordinate will sort in ascending order, and y-axis will sort in descending order. So if the 2 points have the same x coordinates, we sort them by the y coordinate with descending order. So sorting ensures that for a pair, I can consider xi always less than x, so that it can form on top left top, and we don't have any conflicts on y values. So choosing a pair point, we take every for this points, pair of points ij with I less than j for a pair to be valid. The point should be less and above point j. So that means x of I less than equal to j and y of I is greater than equal to j. So basically, ready? We need a for loop, states dot spice I plus plus, and for in j equal to from I plus 1 point dot spice j plus 2. So we need a boolean, let's say no, to check if the point is can form a valid or not. Let's say, or rather, we can say that valid. So this will improve the code readability. So if my points are I of 0, which is y-axis, is less than or equal to points from j of 0, and then points of I of 1, which is an y coordinate, less than equal to points of j of, sorry, not a less than 1, greater than equal to. Y greater than equal to? So you can see this x equal to 2 comma 3 and y equal to 4 comma 1. So we x to the top left corner, it should have y coordinate greater than the y. Mm. And after that, we can do like valid equal to 3. Or else we can clearly say that it is not a valid, it cannot form a valid rectangle. So we simply continue. Continue. Okay. Step 3, checking for points inside the rectangle. So after this, we can say that it can form a rectangle. So after this condition, we have to check if their points lies between the rectangle or not. Once we find a candidate pair I comma j, from this condition we will get the pair I comma j. We imagine a rectangle to be formed by them. So point I acts as the top left corner and point j acts as the bottom right corner. So now we need to make sure that no points lie strictly between the rectangle. To check, we look at all points K between I and J. Why I and J? We already sorted it. So if there is a point between I and J, it should be the in between them because after J, it's like out of the rectangle. So let's say here I have F point. So, so basically we can see that the F point is F points X coordinate is always greater than Y point. So to check between them, we already sorted it, so we will only check between X and Y. Mm. So if we find a point such that X of I less than equal to X of K and less than equal to X of J and Y of I greater than equal to Y of K and greater than equal to Y of K, then X lies inside the rectangle. And pair Ij is not valid. Let's say here, let's say X equal to same 2 comma 3 and y equal to 4 comma 1 and also z equal to 5 comma 0. So if I try to form a rectangle using x and j, as you can see that it can form a rectangle, but y lies between the x and j, so y will be inside a rectangle. So that's why it doesn't become a valid pair. So let's run a for loop with k equal to I plus 1 and k less than j and k plus 1. As you can say that if my my x-axis of point I less than or equal to points of k, I will copy this so that I don't have to again and again. And then points of k less than or equal to points of j of 0. And then points of I of 1 greater than or equal to points of k of 1. And then points of let's say that paste it k of 1 greater than or equal to points of j of 1. If this happens, we will place max equal to sorry, value valid equal to false and we will break it. And for this, if we found a valid pair, we will do count testing. So let's say that here we will define count equal to 0 and after this we will return false. See, if there is a no found pair found inside any triangle, is counted as a valid pair. So we will be repeat this process for all pairs I, j. So let's run it. Mm, yeah. Okay. Ah, I have to call it like an object. So, mm, okay. I wrote it like page, but name is points and nearest uh, mm, points of I of 0 is equal to points of j of 1, I of 1. Okay, phonics points. Okay. So let's submit it. Yes. Then like this, we have to solve this question. So it's an easy one, but as like you can see, it's just little tricky that why we have to sort and why we have to take why the question has to be at that greater than or equal to like that, and how to check if it is valid, and how we know that it is valid like that question. So that's it. That's it for today. Thank you.